Your future may already be falling apart. And the scary part is, nothing in your life has to look wrong for it to happen. You can wake up every morning, go to work, pay your bills, scroll your phone, watch another episode, tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, and still be quietly moving toward a life you never wanted. Because most people don't destroy their future with one terrible decision. They do it with decisions that feel completely harmless. 5 minutes becomes an hour. Tomorrow becomes next year. Comfort becomes a lifestyle. Busy becomes an excuse for never making real progress. And because nothing hurts immediately, your brain assumes everything is fine. That's the trap. The most dangerous habits rarely look dangerous while you're doing them. They feel normal. Sometimes, they even feel deserved. But repeated long enough, small choices become patterns. Patterns become habits. And habits quietly decide where your life ends up. So before another year disappears, there are 5 harmless habits you need to recognize, because you may already be doing every one of them. Why harmless habits are so dangerous. Here's what makes these habits so difficult to escape. They don't punish you immediately. Scroll for an hour tonight, and nothing terrible happens. Skip one workout, and your body looks exactly the same tomorrow. Delay an important goal for another week, and your life doesn't suddenly collapse. So your brain learns a dangerous lesson. This is fine. But habits don't work through immediate consequences. They work through accumulation. Every repeated action makes the next repetition easier. What begins as an occasional choice slowly becomes your default behavior. And eventually, you stop deciding at all. You simply repeat yesterday, day after day, month after month. Until one day, you look around and realize years have passed. But the life you wanted somehow never arrived. That's why harmless habits can be more dangerous than obvious mistakes. Big mistakes get your attention. Small habits rarely do. They quietly shape your direction while giving you almost no reason to stop. And the first one may already be consuming more of your life than you realize. Habit 1. Consuming more than you create. The first habit is so normal that almost nobody sees it as a problem. You consume far more than you create. Think about yesterday. How much time did you spend scrolling, watching videos, reading posts, listening to podcasts, or following other people's lives? Now ask yourself something harder. What did you create? For many people, the answer is uncomfortable. Nothing. Consumption feels productive because your brain is constantly receiving new information. But learning about someone else's progress is not the same as making your own. You can watch hundreds of videos about business without building one. Save dozens of workout videos without exercising. Listen to productivity podcasts while your own goals remain untouched. Slowly, you become a spectator instead of a participant in your own life. The solution isn't to stop consuming. It's to change the balance. Before you scroll, watch, or listen today, create something first. Write one page. Practice one skill. Build something small. Because your future is shaped far more by what you create than what you consume. Habit 2. Waiting until you feel motivated. The second habit is waiting until you feel motivated before you begin. It sounds reasonable. Why force yourself to act when you don't feel ready? But this belief quietly keeps people stuck for years. They wait to feel inspired before starting the business. Wait for confidence before applying for the better job. Wait for motivation before exercising, studying, or changing their life. The problem is that motivation is unreliable. Some days it appears. Most days it doesn't. And if action depends on how you feel, your goals eventually become optional. Here's what most people get backward. Motivation doesn't always create action. Very often, action creates motivation. Take one small step and your brain receives evidence that you've started. That creates momentum. Momentum makes the next step easier. So stop waiting to feel ready. Use the 5-minute rule. Choose something you've been avoiding and do it for just 5 minutes. You don't need enough motivation to finish. You only need enough courage to begin, because starting imperfectly will always take you further than waiting perfectly. Habit 3. Choosing comfort over growth. The third habit feels especially harmless because comfort doesn't feel like a problem. It feels like a reward. You stay in the familiar job because it's safe. Avoid the difficult conversation because it's uncomfortable. Skip the challenge because failure might embarrass you. And each decision seems reasonable on its own. But comfort has a hidden cost. The more often you avoid discomfort, the more threatening discomfort begins to feel. Your comfort zone doesn't stay the same size. It slowly shrinks. Things you once considered exciting begin to feel risky. Trying something new feels exhausting. Taking chances feels unnecessary. And eventually, you build your entire life around avoiding anything that makes you uncomfortable. Growth works in the opposite direction. Every small challenge you face teaches your brain that discomfort is survivable. So deliberately choose one uncomfortable thing each day. Speak up. Try something new. Take the difficult first step. You don't need to become fearless. You simply need to stop letting comfort decide what your future is allowed to become. Habit 4. Treating your future self like a stranger. The fourth habit is something almost everyone does without realizing it. You treat your future self like a completely different person. Stay up scrolling tonight. Tomorrow you can deal with being exhausted. Spend money you should save. Future you can worry about it later. Ignore your health. Someday you'll fix it. The problem is that someday eventually becomes today. And the person who inherits every decision you're avoiding is still you. Every choice you make is quietly sending something into your future. Some choices send opportunities. Others send problems. Think of every decision as either a gift or a debt. Exercise today, and you're giving your future self strength. Learn a skill, and you're giving them opportunities. Keep postponing everything, and you're handing them problems with interest. Before making a decision, ask yourself one question. Will my future self thank me for this? You don't need to sacrifice today for tomorrow, but stop making tomorrow pay for everything that feels easier today, because eventually, you become the person receiving the bill. Habit 5. Confusing busyness with progress. The fifth habit may be the easiest one to mistake for success. Being busy. You answer emails, attend meetings, reply to messages, complete dozens of small tasks, and by the end of the day, you're exhausted. So naturally, you assume you were productive. But ask yourself a harder question. What actually moved forward? Busyness feels productive because every completed task gives your brain a small sense of accomplishment. The problem is that not every task moves you closer to the life you want. You can spend years moving constantly while still standing in the same place. Real progress often looks different. It's slower, more focused, sometimes uncomfortable. It means ignoring 10 unimportant tasks so you can finish the one that actually matters. Before starting something, ask, does this move me toward my goal? Or does it simply keep me occupied? Your future doesn't care how busy you were. It reflects what you actually accomplished. Stop measuring your days by how much you did. Start measuring them by what truly moved forward. Final reflection. If there is one thing to remember after watching this video, it is this. Your future is not waiting for you somewhere years from now. You are building it today. Every time you create instead of consume, you build it. Every time you act before motivation arrives, you build it. Every time you choose growth over comfort, protect your future self, or focus on progress instead of staying busy, you build it. None of these decisions will transform your life overnight. That's the point. The habits that quietly destroy your future work slowly, but so do the habits that build an extraordinary one. Your life changes when small choices become consistent patterns. So don't wait for a dramatic moment to reinvent yourself. Choose one habit. Change one decision. Take one small step today, then repeat it tomorrow. Because 5 years from now, You'll become the result of what you repeatedly do today. If this video gave you a new perspective, comment the number 5 below. Let's see who's ready to build a better future.